I call the honourable member David Shearer.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. Mr Chairman, our democracy depends very much on the trust that we have in our intelligence agencies and the functioning of the government. And today, that functioning has had a huge knock, because we have learned today that the telephone records of journalists have been passed through to the Prime Minister's office. Wow. And we don't understand exactly why, but this, sir, strikes at the very heart of the confidence that we have in this government. And the Prime Minister refuses to answer the questions of exactly what is going on at the moment. Who asked for these documents? Who asked for these records, Mr Chair? That's the question that we wanted answered. Mr Eagleson, we understand, asked for the overall metadata. But where did that go to, sir? And why are we now questioning the absolute right of journalists in this Parliament not to have their telephone records tampered with or sent on to the office of the Prime Minister? Sir, this is yet another blow to the way that we operate in this Parliament. We've had the NZDF, the Defence Forces, in the last couple of days accused of spying on one of our journalists as well. It comes on the back of the GCSB bill, which has been rushed through a committee process without the due attention that it absolutely needs. Right. And instead what we've got is a bill that is going to creep across the line, sold by somebody who is a willing seller to the Prime Minister who is a willing buyer. Sir, that's what it was all about. And that the Prime Minister has the audacity to say to me, what we want is a broad party agreement on this. And I spoke to him, sir. We went to him and I said, look, in August last year, we discovered that there was the spying that was going on New Zealanders by the GCSB was illegal. If since that time the security of this country and the citizens of this country are in any way at risk, we will look with you to see how we can close that loophole until such time as we can have an independent inquiry in and around this issue. Sir, there was no evidence. There was absolutely no evidence to give me any cause to have to go to him any further and take that any further. Instead, sir, what we've seen is the Prime Minister so adamant that he wants to get this bill just across the line that he'll do absolutely anything. He is not willing, not interested in engaging with the Labor Party or any other party in this Parliament. He wants this off his books. And then when people disagree with him, and I'm talking about the Law Society, the Commissioner for Privacy, the Human Rights Commission, he calls them misinformed. Misinformed. Well, sir, he is out of touch with New Zealanders here because they have lost trust in our intelligence agency and lost trust in him as the head of our intelligence agencies. And I can tell you, sir, that when people look at exactly the oversight that's going on here, we have Mr. Key, who is appointing his friend as the head of the GCSP, who reports only to him and doesn't even need to meet with anybody else when the two of them get together, who sits on the Intelligence and Security Committee, the Oversight Committee, chairs that committee, sets the agenda, has the casting vote. On top of that, he appoints the Commissioner for Warrants and the Inspector General for Intelligence, and today we hear that his office has been implicated in ensuring and reading a journalist's telephone records. Now, does that give us any trust or confidence in Mr. Key or our intelligence agencies? Sir, this is a disgrace. We need, as we've been saying for months now, an independent inquiry into our intelligence agencies, not just on the GCSB, on the SIS, on the Defence Forces, on the GCSB and on the police and how they work together. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
I call the honourable